Good morning, my dear students. So, government means to say that DM had ordered for do not 16, 17, 18 there will be holiday just because of the weather. The condition is not so good. So, you are at your home enjoying your holidays, but you have to be attentive related to your studies. You have to be careful related to your studies because these are the important time which you have to revise your particular subjects, okay, and to complete your work. If you are not utilizing your time, then it will not be beneficial for you. That you know this very well. So before that, we have completed up to the topic that is Khilafat movement and the non-cooperation movement. We have started the new topic that is the Simon Commission. So it was we have started the topic, but it was not completed at that time. So now I am going to demonstrate that what had happened into the Simon Commission. When the Simon group arrived into India, Simon group have arrived into India because this group has been made to look into the effectiveness of the government of India on the people. But at the Act of 1919, but Indians were not happy with this commission. Why? Because there was no any single Indian into that particular commission. Only the Britishers were there. Indians were not believing them because they can create any type of report and give to Queen Victoria. So the Indians were very angry on that. They were very aggressive and they want a particular Indian, a single Indian, to get involved into this commission, by which a good report, a nice report, a fair report must be represented and must be represented at the front of Queen. But when the commission arrived into India, it has been greeted by the people by the slogan that is Simon, go back. The government resorted to lathi charge. The government, because people were opposing them, the Simon Commission, people were so much and aggressive related to that particular commission. So they started to giving the slogan that is Simon, go back, and that particular thing is not being tolerated by the Britishers, and they started lathi charge on the people, in which Lala Lajpat Rai was severely injured, and at last, after a few days, he got died just because of that. And the reforms, Indian leaders decided to prepare a report on the reforms to be carried out in India for the establishment of reasonable government. So they started to create a reform by which they could be able to make a reasonable government into the country instead of that of the Britishers. A draft was made under the leadership of Motilal Nehru and it demanded for a dominion status, but Muslim League did not accept the report. All the things has been created, all the things has been mentioned by the people. At that time, Motilal Nehru was the leader of that particular reformship. But what had happened? The Muslim League was not accepting that particular report which has been created. In that, it has mentioned that each and every one will get equal opportunity to rule the country or to rule their particular areas. But here the Muslim League have not supported them. Do you know Bardoli Satyagraha? Bardoli Satyagraha is a Satyagraha movement which was been started by the peasants, by the farmers, and under the leadership of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. It was a movement against the increase of the land value by 25%, up to 25% by the government. So the Bardoli movement has been started just to oppose these type of things, these type of revenue systems which has been imposed on the farmers by the Britishers. And that particular movement was led by Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Mahatma Gandhi had declared to the people to disobey all the things, all the work, all the rules and regulations which has been created by the Britishers, which has been applied by the Britishers. You have to disobey all the rules and regulations made by them. So the Congress session was held in Lahore in 29 December 1929. Under the leadership of Pandit Nehru, Congress declared the attainment of Purna Swaraj. You know what is Purna Swaraj? You know what is the meaning of Swaraj? It means to say that we want our own leadership, we want our own country to lead. We want our own people to lead the country. Consequently, it was decided that Independence Day will be observed on 26 January 1930. As I have already told that particular story into the previous chapter, that why 26 January is counted as the had taken as a constitutional day. Okay, that is why we say it as a Republic Day, as a constitutional day, because the 26th January 1930 it was decided that it will be counted as the Independence Day, but later on when the constitution was constructed, this particular day has been decided to apply the constitution into the whole country, to apply the rules and regulations into the whole country. So that particular date is being celebrated as the Republic Day. The national flag was unfurled and the working committee met on the February and decided to start civil disobedience movement under the leadership of the Gandhiji. So after that, Dandi Salt March, D-A-N-D-I, Dandi Salt March has been started. Dandi Salt March was started by Gandhiji to disobey the rules of collecting the revenue through the salt. Britishers had imposed the tax on salt also. So Gandhiji has opposed this type of rules and he had started to lead Dandi Salt March. And in that so many people from all the country had to join that particular movement and accomplished in his followers. So the followers started following Mahatma Gandhi, and Gandhiji embarked the protest march from the Sabarmati ashram to Dandi at the local Dandi that is located at the shore of the Arabian Sea. He had started his march from Sabarmati ashram to the Dandi, a place which is located near the Arabian Sea. So in April 1930, Gandhiji and his followers violated the salt law by picking up a handful of salt laying on the seashore. They have revolted against the Britishers. They demolished the law related to the tax, and they have started taking the salt into their hand and started revolted against them and they had represented that this salt is our own and you can't impose tax on that. Dandi March had an immense impact on the entire nation. Each and every corner of the country was gripped in the unique favor of nationalism. Means all the government officers, all the Indian officers who are working into the offices, they refused to go into the office. Students refused to go into the schools. They started to make the bonfire of the foreign goods. They started to ignore all the foreign things which is coming from the Britishers. They started to ignore all that and started burning these oils. So into the whole country the revolt has been started, and at last what had happened? The Britishers had imprisoned Mahatma Gandhi and Jawaharlal Nehru, and thus the second struggle was for attaining Swaraj launched by the Congress under the able guidance of Mahatma Gandhi served the critical function of mobilizing the masses on a large scale against the British. Means to say that when Mahatma Gandhi and Jawaharlal Nehru got imprisoned by the Britishers, this particular movement was but it also becomes slowed down because they both become imprisoned by the Britishers. First Round Table Conference, it was held. The three Round Table Conference were held. In the first conference, prominent leader of Muslim League and the Hindu Mahasabha were there, but Congress did not attend. It ended without any agreement. Three round table conferences were held. Into the first round table, the leader of Muslim League and the leader of Hindu Mahasabha, they both have set, but they both have attended the meeting, but the National Congress, the leaders of National Congress, they have not attended that meeting, and at last, without any agreement, without any conclusion, this particular meeting got ended up. Following Gandhi and Ireland Pact, after that, on the 5th March 1931, Gandhiji met the Viceroy Lord Irwin after suspending the civil disobedience movement and signed an agreement known as Gandhi-Irwin Pact. After civil disobedience movement, after the movement, that particular movement, they started to sign an agreement which is known as Gandhiji has signed an agreement which is known as Gandhi-Irwin Pact. Following are the salient points of the agreement. The Congress would discontinue the civil disobedience movement according to the Britishers. It has been mentioned into the agreement that the Congress will discontinue, means they will not continue that particular movement, means the civil disobedience movement must be stopped over there. The Congress would participate in the second round table conference. Into the second round table conference, the Congress will participate into that. The government, third one was, the government would withdraw all the ordinance issues to curb the Congress. Means the government will not, whatever the issues has been created between the government and the Congress, the government will leave out that. Next, the government would release political prisoners. Whatever the political prisoners has been imprisoned by the Britishers, that will be released by them. And right to manufacture salt would be given to the people living in the coastal areas. Means to making the salt, that particular thing will be given to the local people who are living into the coastal areas. Means to say that there would not be any tax imposed on the salt. So these were the particular points. You have to revise that, you have to complete your question answers into the copy, and these things you have to keep into your mind that these type of things has been happened previously into our before the independence. But after that, after these struggles, we have got the independence and now we are living independently into the earth. Thank you so much.